Hello students, myself Miss Rachna Jain, Associate Professor, Department of English, Government PG College, Rajgarh, Alwar. Today in this video lecture, I am going to explain you the poem From Homecoming composed by R. Parthasarathy. This poem is in the syllabus of BA Part 3rd, English Literature, Paper 1st, Unit B. This is my second video lecture on this poem. First of all, I will read the text for you. I see him now sitting at his desk. The door is open. It is evening. On the lawns the children play. He went for the wrong goats from the start, and marriage made it worse. He hadn't read his Greek poets well. Better to bury a woman than marry her. Now he teaches, reviews words written by others, is invited to conferences and attends them. How long it had taken him to learn he had no talent at all, although words came easy. One can be articulate about nothing, or was it simply his God had left him? Now I tell you the meanings of some words. Start. Start means beginning. Articulate means to express his feelings into words. His goats had left him means that he was not inspired by his goats for his work. Now I tell you the reference with context of these lines. These are the opening lines from the poem From Homecoming composed by R. Parthasarathy, whose famous work is Rough Passage. Rough Passage is a long poem divided into 3 parts titled Exile, Trial, and Homecoming. And all these parts are subdivided into several sections. This extract prescribed for us is from Homecoming. In the first line, I is used for R. Parthasarathy the poet, and him is used the teacher critic. The poet condemns the teacher critic who is incapable of composing even 1 or 2 lines of poetry. I see him now sitting at his desk. Parthasarathy opens this poem abruptly. He doesn't make any situation or any introduction of the teacher critic. He says it is evening means it is the evening time when the children are playing on the lawns. The teacher critic is sitting at his desk. The door of his house is open. He went for the wrong goats from the start means this teacher critic worshipped wrong gods from the very beginning of his life, and marriage made it worse, and marriage made his position even worse. He got married and hence had to find money in order to support himself and his family. He had not read his Greek poets well. It means teacher critic had not studied the great Greek poets who would have taught him the futility of marriage and would have elevated his thoughts. Then he becomes a teacher. George Bernard Shaw has rightly said, better to bury a woman than marry her. George Bernard Shaw said that he who can does, he who cannot teaches. Moreover, the proverb goes, a bad poet becomes a good critic. But this fellow was not a poet, good or bad, and failed as a critic. The message of the Greek poets was better to bury a woman than marry her. Now he teaches, the poet says, now this fellow becomes a teacher, reviews verse written by others. He wrote reviews of the poetry composed by other poets. He doesn't have the capacity to write even a single line of a poem. Is invited to conferences and attends them. This teacher critic is invited to conferences and he makes it a point to attend these. How long it had taken him to learn, he had no talent. He expressed himself easily, although he had no talent at all. It took a long time to understand that he had no talent at all. At all, although words came easy. It means he could express his ideas about nothing, or his goats had left him. It means he was not inspired by his God, that is, whatever he wrote or expressed was not inspired by higher gods or higher thinking. Parsarthi writes in simple language, but he strongly condemns the reviewer who can articulate about nothing. His reviews are full of verbosity. Really, many critics and reviewers cannot compose a single line of poetry, but these fellows teach, write reviews, and attend conferences. Such people are not inspired beings. Paddling his bicycle glasses, he asks, what is like to be a poet? I say to myself, the son of a bitch fattens himself on the flesh of dead poets, lines his pockets with their blood, from the fingertips ooze ink and paper. As he squats on the dung heap of old texts and obscure commentaries, his eyes peel off. Where would his eminence be but for the poets who splashed about in the Hellespont or burned in the Java Sea? Now, I tell you the simple words of the difficult words used in this poem. The son of a bitch means a puppy, unpleasant person, or bastard. Fatten means becomes fat. The flesh of dead poets means poetry of the poets of the past. lines his pockets means makes a lot of money for himself, especially by cunning or dishonest methods. From his fingertips ooze ink and paper means he writes a lot of criticism. Equates means crouches. The dung heap of old text means a degrade reference to secondary material on literature. Obscure means less known. Peel off means watch carefully or be observant. His eminence means holder of high position like that a Roman Catholic cardinal. Splashed about means sat or stood in water and made it fly about with one's hand or feet. Hellespont means the ancient name for the Dardanelles Straits in the northwest Turkey, connecting Sea of Marmara with the Aegean. Java means a big island of Indonesia. The poets who is splashed in the Hellespont or burnt in the Java Sea means poets of the classical and modern world. This extract prescribed for us is from the poem Homecoming, 12th section. I in the poem refers to the poet Parsarthi and he refers to the teacher critic whom the poet condemns in very harsh terms. Explanation. The teacher critic asks what is like to be a poet. He asks such a question. He himself is incapable of writing a single line of a poem, but writes reviews of poems written by other poets. He attends conferences although he has no talent. Parsarthi uses a word of abuse for him because he earns a lot of money by criticizing the works of the poets of the past. He makes or gains lots of money, especially by cunning or dishonest means with the blood of dead poets. Such a teacher critic writes criticism in large measures and bases his criticism on the secondary kind of material, on literature and obscure and less known commentaries. He is very observant and ever watchful. R. Parsarthi sarcastically calls him His Eminence and wonders where he would be without the poets of the classical and modern world. He supported himself by writing criticism on the poetry of classical and modern poets. This poem is written in free verse, hence there is no rhyme scheme in it. The poem is completed now. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.